Alright, here's another program that I think you'll all have some fun with. This is a math for rotation. And now my program setup is real simple. I've got a picture box that is 640 by 480, and then a timer that is always set on, enabled is true, and an interval of 1, so as fast as it can go. So now here's my code, and before I get into the code, I'll show you what this program does. When I put my mouse over the program, I have a spinning line that just follows my mouse around. That's pretty cool, huh? But how do I do that? Well, I'll show you. Let's close this. So, the first thing we need to do is have an angle. And we're going to set that as a global variable, and that is going to make it so that every time the timer ticks, it just stores it globally, not locally, so it's not cleared every time the timer happens. Second thing is going to be the picture itself. The thing will be editing and sending into the picture box, and that is simply a bitmap at 640 by 480. And then a graphics, which references pic. So if I reference graphic, it changes the picture, and then the picture gets put into the picture box. Right there at the bottom. Pretty simple. Alright, so anyways, we got this timer tick. And on the timer tick, we need a couple things. First is the position of the cursor. Now, the position of the cursor can be 0, 0 to 16 by 900, or whatever the size of your screen is. And to do this without actually having to look at what your size of the screen is, there's a simple code I've got up here. CursorX and CursorY. Now the cursor position minus the position of the form minus the picture box location relative to the form minus 4. And then for the y, it's the same thing except minus 30. And that 4 and the 30 is actually the 4 is a little bar here, and 30 is the title bar up here. They don't tell you that stuff, but that's what you need to do. Anyways, the length also of the spinning bar, if you will. And I just have it set to pixel 50. So that's all we need there. Now, for a quick little back thing on what angles are. Angle, as we normally would think of it, would be 0 to 360. Now, the math stuff I got going on here is actually in radians. That's what the cosine and sine need to see to be happy. So, anyways, this little bottom piece here is just simply adding an angle of 5 degrees every time the tick happens. Now you can have that be 1 degree, 10 degrees, and 180 degrees for all I care. But simply just is angle plus 5. And if angle is over 360, angle equals 0. Okay, so now the first thing we need to do, and here's the real math behind this mess. So the angle rad, this is where we change the angle into a radian, is angle times Math.PI over 180 plus 180 gives us our angle in radians. Don't ask me what all that means. Feel free to copy and paste to forget that. So, now, this is the end position of the rotated object. And that I called tempx and tempy. I could have chosen probably a better name for that, but that's what you get. And this follows, if you go into like Wikipedia 2D rotation, if you look that up, it's kind of this mess right here. So math.cosine angle radian times the length minus length times math.sin angle radian plus CursorX. Now the plus CursorX and the plus CursorY are actually the offset, so it's not spinning around the 0 point, it's spinning around the cursor. But basically the difference here is cosine minus sine and sine plus cosine for the y. It's a whole bunch of math I had to go through that I figured you might just be better off just to copy and paste instead of trying to hit your head against the wall on this like I did. And then finally graphics, which references our picture there. Draw a line, Pens.Black, CursorX, Y, CursorY, then tempx and tempy for the final position. So our starting position and then our rotated position. And playing that, we have this wonderful little fun program here. Ain't that great? Now, one more thing I'd like to add, just for kicks. Let's add an event of picture box and then mouse click. Now, when picture box mouse click happens, let's do a graphics.fill rectangle brushes. Let's go for white, and we're going to do 0, 0, 640 by 480. And what this will do is just draw a white rectangle at 0, 0 for 640 by 480, which is the entirety of the rectangle when I click on it. So here's the program, and as I click, oh, it erased it all. And now I can feel free to move about my cursor here and click to get rid of it all. This is a fun little program. You can make art with this. I'm sure I could sell this for millions of dollars and all my financial problems would be solved. But I'm going to give away it for free on the internet so you all can have fun with it.